Part 9. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 82. Become a genin. It's really enviable. Everyone looked at teacher Wu-Kei expectantly, and their original dissatisfaction with the process turned into expectations for the results. Who will be the 3 people who can become genin in advance? The number 1 Sarutobi Ryo. Wu-Kei's voice came out, and everyone immediately looked at the position of Class 1. Sarutobi Ryo slowly stepped out of the queue and walked up to the front desk. This result is acceptable. A tiger father has no dog son, and Sarutobi Ryo's talent, strength, and popularity are enough to support his graduation. It's really enviable. As expected of Ryo Sarutobi-san. While envious, many students are also a little disappointed. Because this meant that Sarutobi Ryo was going to stay away from them. From now on, Sarutobi Ryo will become a genin, and they will have to wait a long time to graduate. The second person Namikaze Minato. When Wu-Kei finished speaking, the atmosphere in the venue became stagnant. This time, Namikaze Minato's performance was not eye-catching. Kanami Feng Shuman is from a commoner background. A student from a commoner background who can defeat a big family is already very powerful. Someone immediately smoothed things over for Namikaze Minato. After all, appearance is justice. Namikaze Minato's handsome appearance and warm as the sun personality have won recognition from many people. More importantly, Namikaze Minato was born as a civilian. More than 70% of the students present were also from civilian backgrounds, and Namikaze Minato was almost their representative. Third person. Wu-Kei looked around the scene. The scene immediately became extremely quiet. Everyone's heart was almost in their throats and they didn't dare to express their anger. Who will be the last lucky person? Hayajaka. Wu-Kei announced the last person. I don't agree. Just as Wu-Kei finished speaking, an angry voice interrupted him. Wu-Kei was very unhappy. Someone dared to object to this result. Could it be that he has lost his mind? He turned around and subconsciously wanted to scold the speaker, but when he found that the person who objected was Xiangxiao, he was suddenly shocked. It was not just Wu-Kei who was stunned, but also all the students. They didn't understand why Xiangxiao refused to accept it. Xiangxiao, do you have any questions? Wu-Kei frowned, but still asked. Of course Hinata Xiao has doubts. Why isn't Hikari the first person? Xiangxiao went straight to the point without any fuss. Hyaga Hikari? Wu-Kei's expression froze and his eyes widened slightly. The result was decided by the superiors, and Hinata Hikaru could not be selected. There are naturally reasons. What reason? Hinata Xiao asked. His attitude looked like he was going to fall out if he didn't tell me why. This. My words are stagnant. Because Hikari is a little psycho? No. Although Wu-Kei knew that Hinata Hikaru was a mental patient, he didn't hate her because of this. What Wu-Kei hates is that Hinata Hikari is unruly and a bad student. Ga, Hinata Xiao, thank you for standing up for me, but I am doing very well in the ninja school. Hinata Hikaru is definitely not comforting Hinata Xiao. So what if I can't graduate? This does not affect the progress of her strength at all. What Hinata needs most right now is time, and he is racing against time. It's not about genin and not genin. But Xiangxiao shook his head and insisted on his opinion. Hinata Hikari saw that she couldn't speak to him, so she stopped talking. Hyaga Hikaru is not as strong as the 3 of you. After thinking for a moment, Wu-Kei spoke. Of course, the overall performance is not as good as usual. He added another sentence. But Xiangxiao shook his head and denied Wu-Kei's statement. Hikaru Hinata is more powerful than me and Minato Namikaze. This sentence once again caused a stir in the entire audience. Even Sarutobi Ryo is no match for Hinata Hikaru. This sentence completely exploded the scene. If there were ripples on the water just now, now a huge wave is coming. Sarutobi Ryo is no match for Hinata Hikari, are you kidding me? It's just a Hyuga Hikari one by one. In the audience, the students had different opinions, but most of them disagreed that Hinata was stronger than Sarutobi. Who is Ryo Sarutobi? The son of the Sandaime Hokage. Since he is the son of Hokage, he must be powerful. Hikaru Hinata is just a little psycho and a branch family member, how can he compare to the noble son of the Hokage? In this world where the theory of blood is deeply rooted, most people have been brainwashed to believe in the term blood. A dragon begets a dragon, a phoenix begets a phoenix, and a mouse's son can make holes. The Hokage's son is the Hokage, the counselor's son is the counselor, and the son who dies for others dies for others. This is what the public thinks. If you don't believe it, you can ask Sarutobi Ryo to come forward and compete with Hinata Hikaru, and you will know the result. Faced with everyone's attacks, Ri Xiangxiao showed no intention of retreating. His tone was firm and completely unwavering. What a fool! Tang Zi, who had just removed the barrier and rested for a while, hurried over and signaled Hinata Xiao not to commit suicide. By doing this, he was slapping several senior executives in the face. You said. The Hokage-sama and several other high-level officials have already made their decision, and you refute this? This child is certainly smart, but his character. However, Ri Xiangxiao ignored Tang's earnest words at all. He just looked at the four senior officials steadily. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say anything, he just smoked his pipe calmly. Koharu, Mito Monahan, and Danzo Shimura showed displeasure when they went to bed. They didn't expect that some naughty children would come out to question their decision. The weird thing is, Rixiang Rishin also made no expression. He just looked at Ri Xiangxiao with a calm face, seeming to leave the situation completely to Ri Xiangxiao's decision. But the sun is moving towards the sky, and the sun is moving towards the good times. Some people couldn't help it. Ri Xiangxiao, do you know what you are doing? The boy who spoke had a smooth forehead and was 12 or 3 years old. His white eyes revealed his identity. The sun is full. The eldest son of Rixiang Rishin. Among the entire younger generation of the Hyuga clan, he was the only one who dared to talk to Ri Xiangxiao like this. As the next clan leader and the current candidate, Rixiang Xiao should be the best candidate for Rixiang Rizu. The relationship between Hinata and Hinata. In the future, after Hyuga Hichizu becomes the clan leader, Hyuga Xiao will play the same role as Hyuga Ryutatsu, assisting him in managing the Hyuga clan. In other words, in terms of status, Hinata Rizu is higher than Hinata Xiao. Of course Rixiang Xiao knew what she was doing. But this is the way of tolerance he insists on. Not a demand for justice but just seek inner understanding. His heart told him to do it this way, and Ri Xiangxiao had to do it this way. Everyone has a different standpoint and a different way of looking at things. Therefore, justice is different for everyone. Ri Xiangxiao never expects justice, he only follows his own heart. What he did this time may be irrational, but Ri Xiangxiao has never relied on reason to drive his actions. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 83. Of course I know what I'm doing. He looks cold on the outside, but is as hot as a fire inside. This is Ri Xiangxiao. In his opinion, Hikaru Hinata was so much higher than Ryo Sarutobi. Why was Ryo Sarutobi selected first? Ri Xiangxiao opened her eyes, which had been closed for a long time. In those white eyes, everyone saw his anger and stubbornness. Even when Hikaru Hinata was envied by others because of his talent and rumors spread everywhere, he did not stand up. Because Hinata's talent is indeed very high. The gossip of others will not change this fact. Just as he himself was jealous of other Hyuga clan members, Hyuga Xiao could relate to it. Therefore, he simply ignored the ridicule of Hinata Hikaru from others. However, this time, it's different. The first place that should have belonged to Hikari was taken away by others, and Hikari's inner thoughts were unclear. Hayajaka-san. Namikaze Minato shook his head towards Hinata Xiao, signaling him not to be impulsive. However, Hinata Xiao looked away without hesitation. This is a decision jointly made by the higher UPS. Your objection is invalid, Wu-Kei said calmly. After that, he looked at everyone. Today's departmental test is over. The 3 selected candidates can go to their respective class teachers to receive forward protection. Receiving a forward protector means becoming an official ninja. Graduated early and became a genin. This is a great honor. Of course, graduating at the age of 8 is nothing. You know, Jiraiya, Orochimaru, Tsunade, and their peers all graduated from ninja school at the age of 6. It's just that stability over the years has raised the age threshold for graduation. But now the Second Ninja World War is coming. To prepare for the war, some things had to change. So, today's decision is made. I do not accept. There was another sound, followed by R.I. Xiangxiao's angry shout. But this time, it was obvious that his pitch had been raised a few notches, and there was even an extra exclamation point. The scene that was originally bustling with discussion became quiet again. The students didn't dare to express their anger, they just looked at R.I. Xiangxiao, who was blaming the sky and the earth. Everyone knows the title of R.I. Xiangxiao Pingtoxiao. But does he really dare to be so stubborn? Hikari Hinata is just a branch of the family, why do you bother Hinata Xiao? It's Hyagariasuke. After he was beaten up, the medical team treated him for a while and he became active again. He looked at the genius who was a rare genius in his clan, a boy who was praised endlessly even by the elders Hyaga Yoshiaki and the clan leader Hyaga Raiten, and he couldn't help but give him earnest advice. After all, he and R.I. Xiangxiao are from the same clan and belong to the same clan. Competition is a competition, but the friendship of the same clan is another matter. Hinata Hikaru is just a little psycho, and a member of the branch family. Why is R.I. Xiangxiao so desperate? Humph. It has nothing to do with the clan or the branch, or whether it's a ninja or a commoner. I can't stand it. So I'm going to say it. R.I. Xiangxiao walked out of the crowd with firm steps. His face turned red because he was too angry. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, R.I. Xiangxiao walked forward. What is he going to do? People are puzzled. Soon, this question will be answered. Sarutobi Ryo. Finally, Hinata Xiao stood still in front of Sarutobi Ryo. I want to challenge you. Do you dare to accept it? Hinata Xiao's blatant resistance was tantamount to a direct slap in the face of Konoha's top brass. The Sandaime Hokage's face was pressed down by a bamboo hat with the word fire written on it, making it difficult for people to see his face clearly. Several other high-level officials in Konoha were obviously unable to sit still. Especially among the 4, Koharu is the most irritable and the only female one. Hinata Raiten and Hyagariatatsu noticed the expression on Koharu's face, and they knew that they could no longer remain silent. So, the two looked at each other, and then Hinata Yoshiaki spoke. R.I. Xiangxiao, go back. This sentence made R.I. Xiangxiao's body freeze for a moment. Then, he looked at his master. Hinata is both a teacher and a father. Thinking of every bit of the past, R.I. Xiangxiao was shaken. However, the next moment, R.I. Xiangxiao's eyes became firm again. The most important thing in a ninja's life is to implement his own way of ninja. This is what master teaches. So even if a master wants his disciple to violate the way of ninja, it is absolutely unacceptable. Sarutobi Ryo, I challenge you, do you dare to accept it? R.I. Xiangxiao's voice sounded again. Staring at Sarutobi Ryo with cold and hot eyes, Hinata Xiao chose to implement her own way of ninja. As soon as these words came out, Hinata Raiten and Hinata Ryahito's hearts trembled. They know. I'm afraid things will continue to slide towards a more serious abyss. This kid is so stubborn. How audacious. Ri Xiang Xiao, do you want to openly disobey orders? After going to bed, Xiao Chun suddenly stood up from his seat and looked at Ri Xiang Xiao with an angry look on his face. Then, she looked at Hinata, Raiten and others. Hayagata Raiten. Is this how you, the clan leader, discipline the children of your own clan? The scene fell into chaos for a while. The students all looked confused and a little scared. After all, in the face of strict senior management, primary school students will still be primary school students. When adults get angry among themselves, they act calmly. At this time, a gentle voice broke the solid atmosphere. It's Namikaze Minato. Namikaze Minato walked out of the crowd and smiled. Master Xiaoharu, I feel that my skills are not enough. Namikaze Minato shook his head. As you have just seen, my performance is not very outstanding. I think I should study more in the ninja school, so. In the midst of everyone's doubtful gazes, Namikaze Minato scratched his brilliant golden hair and expressed his decision. I'm not ready to graduate. Everyone was stunned. Namikaze Minato doesn't want to play anymore. Ri Xiangxiao looked at Huang Mao in a daze. It seems that this is the first time I have met him since today. Suddenly, the sun and the night bring happiness to my soul. He realized the brilliance of Namikaze Minato's move. He fought back and forth, always playing chess with everyone as his opponents. Being so weak, I am ultimately powerless. And Namikaze Minato is much more powerful. He simply lifted the chessboard and stopped playing. No matter how brilliant your chess playing skills are, Bo Feng Shui men won't be able to play anymore. Isn't it okay if I don't play anymore? I agree with what Namikaze Minato said. Ri Xiangxiao's expression changed, and his anger disappeared instantly. In an instant, he turned back into the indifferent and emotionless Ri Xiangxiao. See you. Hinata Xiao arched her hands in the direction of the 4 senior members of Konoha. Everyone, you'd better hire someone else. I'm done with this job. Hi. Ri Xiangxiao said that he also lifted the chessboard and stopped playing. If you have the ability, just take your time and play by yourself. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 84. I'm done with this. Following Ri Xiangxiao's words, the faces of Xiao Chun and others turned extremely ugly. Just when they are about to continue to attack. Hoo. The Sandaime Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had not spoken a word, smiled and raised his Hokage hat. Everyone's eyes immediately focused on him. Ri Xiangxiao, you are not satisfied with our decision. Yes. Even when faced with the Hokage's questioning, Hinata Xiao showed no signs of stage fright. He faced the strongest ninja in Konoha Hidden Village. But out of respect for the strong, Ri Xiangxiao still had respect in his tone. Well, can you tell us why we made this decision? The question asked by the 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately stumped Hinata Xiao. Seeing Ri Xiangxiao's thoughtful look, Xiao Chun snorted coldly when he went to bed. You're just a kid, how could you possibly guess what we're thinking? Next to him, one of the senior executives wearing glasses, Mito Manabu, adjusted the frame on the bridge of his nose, nodded seriously and said, Hinata Xiao, you are still young, so you don't understand some things. The genius boy of the Hyuga clan is nothing more than this. The last one to speak was Shimura Danzo. He half closed his eyes and spoke casually, his tone calm but revealing a very uncomfortable feeling. In this departmental test, Why did the top management choose Sarutobi Ryo, Himikaya, and Namikaze Minato? Humph. Isn't it because Sarutobi Ryo is the son of Hokage-sama? Ri Xiangxiao blurted out with a fierce expression, completely ignoring the discolored faces of Xiao Chun and others who turned to bed. Sarutobi Ryo relied on connections, and the back door. Ri Xiangxiao's words were full of such expressions. No one dares to say this to his face. But Ri Xiangxiao dared. The students were immediately frightened to the point of jumping out of their skins. Tang's legs went weak and he was about to sit down. Even Rixiang Rishan couldn't help but cover his forehead. Nowadays, the name of Pingtu Xiao will definitely resound throughout Konoha. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and stretched out his hand to signal his colleagues to be calm. Well, then why were you and Minato Namikaze chosen again? This time, it was Ri Xiangxiao's turn to be silent. Several reasons flashed through his mind, but they were all denied one by one, because those reasons can be tripped up. Such as, if he said, he is a genius, then it is obvious that Hinata is stronger than him. If he said, Minato Namikaze is a genius. But in fact, Namikaze Minato's performance this time was not outstanding. Seeing Ri Xiangxiao's silence, Xiao Chun and others showed sarcastic expressions on their faces. That expression seemed to say, you are just a child, what do you know? Just when Ri Xiangxiao was in embarrassment. Quack. A strange laugh sounded. Everyone subconsciously looked at Hinata Hikari. Without him, Hinata Hikari is probably the only person in Konoha who can make such a weird laugh. Therefore, everyone looked to see what she was going to do. Hinata Hikaru had a smile on her face and was very confident. The reason for choosing Ri Xiangxiao is because Ri Xiangxiao represents the power of the family. Ri Xiangxiao's selection means that all the families here will understand that Konoha will not treat them badly. Yes, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded imperceptibly. Since the founding of Konoha, various families have united. After decades of development, civilian ninjas of ordinary origins have become the main force in Konoha. Jiraiya and Orochimaru were promoted as civilians. The era of family rule may well be over. Sarutobi Hiruzen is working hard to bridge the gap between his family and the common people and achieve common prosperity. This method caused a sense of crisis in some families. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say it clearly, their worries were lingering. So, today, the list of candidates for the grade-level examination is one of the manifestations of goodwill. Choose Namikaze Minato because Namikaze Minato was born as a commoner, which is equivalent to appeasing ordinary people and letting them see that even commoners have the opportunity to be promoted. Ho ho! Sarutobi Hiruzen's smile became even bigger, and he felt relieved. This kid is far smarter than he thought. Hinata paced with her little hands behind her back. There was no disappointment at all on the cute little face, only a smile. Because Hinata Hikaru doesn't care at all that he failed. In other words, she didn't plan to graduate immediately. For her, it doesn't matter if she doesn't graduate. Moreover, if you don't graduate, you can welcome your old friends next month or the month after that. Uzumaki Kushina. Soon, Uzumaki Kushina will transfer from Uzushiogakure village in the country of Uzumaki and come to Konoha. It's always nice to meet old friends. The reason why she stood up was because Ri Xiangxiao had already stood up for her and was still being embarrassed. Of course Hinata couldn't sit idly by and ignore it. No more, Sarutobi Hiruzen asked softly, but the admiration for Hinata Hikari in his eyes was already beyond words. Quack, of course. Hinata's body turned around, floating and agile. Those white eyes looked at Sarutobi Ryo. Sarutobi Ryo was selected naturally not because of his strength. Compared to this leader, his strength can only be regarded as average. Hinata Hikaru humiliated his son in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. But Sarutobi Hiruzen was not unhappy at all. Ho ho, that's right, Ryo Sarutobi is indeed not very strong. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head and frowned. Obviously, he thinks his son still has too much to learn. Knowing the 5 attributes may be very powerful in the eyes of ordinary ninjas. But the ninja world is too dangerous and there are too many monsters. Knowing the 5 attributes is nothing special. There are so many shadows in the 5 great kingdoms throughout the ages. Apart from him, Hiruzen Sarutobi, which one is famous for his 5 attributes? To become a top powerhouse, the 5 attributes are just the icing on the cake. Hikaru Hinata took the opportunity to retaliate again. The corners of Sarutobi Ryo's mouth twitched, and he once again understood Hinata Hikari's power and pettiness. Give me face. Sarutobi Ryo turned around and winked at Hinata Hikaru. His voice was very soft, so soft that only Hinata Hikaru could hear it. But Hinata Hikaru, who walked up to her, rolled her eyes and said, "Gaga, who are you? Do I know you very well?" Hinata Hikaru said that the fruit of face also has levels. Sarutobi Ryo's face fruit is indeed powerful, but facing the ultimate face fruit capable person, his old father Sarutobi Hiruzen. That's a little bit of a big deal. Sarutobi Hiruzen is the one with the strongest face fruit ability in Konoha. Hinata Hikari was stupid because she chose to give Sarutobi face instead of giving Sarutobi and Hiruzen face. Sarutobi lowered his head angrily, sighed, and stopped talking. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 85. This little psycho is so shameless. Below, the students once again saw Hinata's shamelessness. She actually said that Sarutobi Ryo was not as powerful as her in front of the Hokage in front of the public. With such a thick skin, I am afraid that even S-level lightning escape cannot penetrate it. The reason for choosing Sarutobi Ryo is to show your selflessness, the 3rd generation old man. Oh, Sarutobi Hiruzen's smile grew wider. At the same time, Hinata Hiten and Hyagariya Haru also nodded. When they went to bed, the angry expressions of Koharu and Mito Kaden gradually faded, and even turned into relief. But everyone said this was simply incomprehensible. Isn't it because Sarutobi Ryo graduated early because he is the son of the Hokage and has connections? Quack, you bunch of idiots, look at how stupid you all are with low IQ. Hinata turned around and looked at the confused people. Graduating early means going to the battlefield in the morning, and the chance of sacrifice is greater. The 3rd generation of old men did not hesitate to let their sons graduate early to show the public the determination of the Sarutobi clan. And the first choice was Ryo Sarutobi. It means that no matter what the position is, for the sake of the village, the Sarutobi clan can take the lead and bear the brunt of going through fire and water for the village. In the original work, the Sarutobi clan is full of loyal people. Whether it's Hiruzen Sarutobi, Ryo Sarutobi, or even Asuma Sarutobi. In the end, they all died for their country. Their love for the village is unquestionable. To question them is to question their sacrifice. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not do anything through the back door to benefit his son from graduating early. On the contrary, he was showing everyone his determination as Hokage and as a Konoha ninja. After listening to Hinata Hikari's eloquent speech, everyone suddenly realized that they were all moved to tears and began to admire the greatness of the Sandaime Hokage. No one is dissatisfied anymore. Good, good boy. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded repeatedly with a kind smile. Finally, someone can understand his painstaking efforts. Then, Sarutobi Hiruzen laughed heartily. I may have done this too eagerly and without thinking carefully, and it is natural that it will arouse people's doubts. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Hinata Xiao. After that, he looked at Sarutobi Ryo again. As Hinata Hikaru said, Sarutobi Ryo is not strong enough, so I decided to let Sarutobi Ryo continue to study in the ninja school. Sarutobi Hiruzen paused and looked at Namikaze Minato again. Graduating early means participating in the killing of ninjas early, and the death rate is naturally high. So I decided to let Minato Namikaze and Hinata Xiao continue to attend the ninja school until you are older before you graduate. After making a decision that everyone was convinced that all living beings were equal, Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up. I announce that the grade department test has been successfully concluded. Sarutobi Hiruzen was very satisfied and stood up to leave. He has already seen the strength of the younger generation. No matter it is Ri Xiangxiao who has a burning heart and is eager for justice. Even Namikaze Minato who hides his strength. Everyone has something to be sure about. I believe that after experiencing this crisis, they will grow a lot as young people. More importantly, Hinata's performance far exceeded his expectations. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but feel happy about his past decisions. There is no doubt that releasing Hinata Hikari from the mental hospital is the most correct thing to do. Although this child has some problems with her head, I believe that she will become an excellent ninja with her clear mind and incomparable intelligence. Sarutobi Hiruzen no longer had any entanglements in his heart, and he walked quickly outside with a happy heart. Hey, 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 a third-generation old man. However, before he could take 2 steps, he saw Hikari running over quickly. Hinata Hikari, do you have anything else to do? Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped and asked patiently. Quack, that's it? Hinata Hikaru leaned over and said a few words. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked strange when he heard this but finally smiled. Then, he turned around, cleared his throat, and faced everyone. I forgot one thing. What's up? Everyone looked at each other in shock, still not recovering from Hinata Hikaru's lecture just now. I announce that Hinata Hikaru is the first placer in this grade department test. Everyone let out an incredible shout. Even Michiko. Michiko never expected that Hinata Hikari would trick her into taking the title of first place. In addition to being surprised, Michiko also couldn't help laughing. But okay. Because of the appearance of Hinata Hikari, not only was Hinata Xiao not punished, but everything ended successfully. It can be said that everyone is happy. Quack. Hinata Hikari was very happy. After getting the title of first place, it means that her and Michiko's bet has been successful. Michiko wants to teach her genjutsu. In the last life, the only thing Hinata didn't learn was illusion. Let's make up for it together in this life. After Sarutobi Hiruzen finished his announcement, he looked at Hinata Hikaru who still didn't leave, and couldn't help but cast a questioning look at her again. He was obviously asking if there was anything else. Quack, that one. Hinata scratched her head, smiled innocently, and rubbed her middle finger and thumb with her index finger. There's no benefit from getting first place. Hey. Even more benefits. Hinata Hikaru's old habit has happened again. The head teacher, Doze, rushed over in a few steps and hugged Hinata Hikari at once. My child, stop talking nonsense, let's go back quickly. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. The Sandaime Hokage nodded repeatedly, indicating that it didn't matter. Well, let me think about it. Sarutobi Hiruzen began to think about what reward he should give Hinata Hikari. Looking at Hinata Hikari's shameless appearance, Shimura Danzo finally couldn't help it anymore. Hiruzen, you just let a child run amok. No way. This Hinata is so shameless. Shimura Danzo said that I have never seen such a shameless person. Hey. Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped Shimura Danzo with an expression that you and I can understand. Danzo, I remember that you were thicker-skinned than Hinata Hikaru when you were a child. Every time the second Hokage Senju Tobirama taught ninjutsu to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo would run over and ask for it together. Without such a thick skin, how can one become the leader of the root? Of course it's not bad now, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Humph. Hearing his old classmate expose his shortcomings, Shimura Danzo groaned and walked away angrily. Got it? After thinking for a while, Sarutobi Hiruzen thought of what reward he should give Hinata Hikari. I have decided to teach you the ninjutsu I invented myself, Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 86. Yeah, but since I'm busy with work, just take some time and go to my place. After Sarutobi Hiruzen set the date, he laughed and left. Clearly, he was pleased with what happened today. Hinata Hikaru is also very satisfied. But some people were not very happy. It's Ri Xiangxiao. He looked a little dazed. I thought my persistence must be right. But from today's perspective, he does seem to be a little extreme. He actually misunderstood Hokage-sama. Ri Xiangxiao, you are indeed right, I am very grateful to you for standing up for me. Hinata's eyes were bright and there was a smile on his face. Maybe Ri Xiangxiao was indeed a little impulsive and had a haircut. But he did what most people couldn't or didn't dare to do. In this ninja world full of calculations and politics, there are too many compromises. When Hikari encounters injustice, others will choose to watch and choose various reasons not to help. But only Ri Xiangxiao will fight against the sky and the earth for it. Also Namikaze Minato, Hinata Hikaru. Even if he is not capable enough, the person involved will be moved by his ancient ways and warm heart. People like Ri Xiangxiao don't get involved in society. You may live a dishonorable and ostracized life. In this ninja world full of wall hangings, Hinata Xiao, who is just a member of the Hyuga tribe, seems so ordinary. But Ri Xiangxiao represents justice. He brings hope to this desperate ninja world. In the future, don't act impulsively, think twice before acting, be calm and be kind to others, just like this leader. Hinata Hikaru patted Hinata Xiao's shoulder. If that doesn't work, you should also learn from Namikaze Minato. Namikaze Minato's IQ is much higher than yours. Haha, Namikaze Minato laughed dryly. Shameless. Ri Xiangxiao glared at her. Oh, by the way, just now, in order to save face for the third-generation old man, I made up those words casually, don't take them seriously. After Hinata finished speaking, he turned around with his little hands behind his back. Congratulations, Hikari-san. Minato Namikaze congratulated Hinata Hikari for winning the first place in the class test. Then next. Quack. Hinata laughed strangely and walked towards teacher Michiko. It's time to ask for the illusion that won the bet. The grade department test ended like this, the crowd dispersed, and the students were left to do whatever they were supposed to do. The ninja school has returned to its former peace. However, everyone's hearts did not calm down. All this is because the daylight is too bright. Not only did he defeat several students of the Uchiha clan, he even ended up chatting and laughing with Lord Hokage. This made her a little mentally ill in the eyes of everyone and a shame to the Hyuga clan. Suddenly it became an existence that could not be ignored. And in addition to physical skills, he also learned fire escape and water escape. What's even more jealous is, not only did Hinata Xiao and Namikaze Minato stand up for her, but she also seemed to have some special relationship with Sarutobi Ryo that no one knew about. The final ending ended with the Hokage announcing that she became the number one. This junior department test can be said to be a perfect ending for Hinata Hikari. After the departmental exams are over, summer leaves and autumn arrives. On the street, the leaves began to turn yellow and fall, and there was a bit of coolness in the air. After several days of fermentation, this matter spread throughout Konoha. Hinata Hikaru suddenly became a man of the hour again. At this time, it was only half a year before he entered the ninja school. And according to the gossip, it is said that Lord Hokage will personally teach Hikari a ninjutsu as a reward. Such a reward is the envy of countless people. Even the ninja school teachers had longing expressions on their faces. Is that Shuriken shadow clone technique you mentioned powerful? Ri Xiangxiao asked with a frown. He was walking with Hinata Hikari and Namikaze Minato. On the streets in autumn, the sun is still shining brightly, but the sunshine is less warm and more cool. As the saying goes, autumn is refreshing. In autumn like this, people's mood will be much better. Quack, you don't understand. Hinata said proudly. It's not a question of whether it's powerful or not, it's really that rare. Hinata stretched out her little hand and started to make gestures. Hikaru Hinata. I want to challenge you. Alas. A clear sound interrupted Hinata's words. The three of them turned around and looked back. Then he saw a girl from the Uchiha family standing in the middle of the street with falling leaves. Who is it? It seems to be Uchiha Shizu-san from class 3, Minato Namikaze said. Ever since the department test passed, the number of people challenging Hinata Hikaru has increased inexplicably. Oh, actually it can't be said to be inexplicable. Generally speaking, there are several reasons. 1. Ryo Sarutobi is my long-legged appa of Konoha, go to hell you little psycho. 2. The Uchiha clan, are the strongest in the ninja world. 3. I don't accept it, I am better than Hinata Hikaru. I am number 1. Basically, there are just a few reasons to find trouble. Oh, I want to be quiet. Hinata stroked her forehead and shook her head with a look of helplessness. I don't know how many times this scumbag has come to challenge me. In fact, Hinata Hikaru is not afraid of others challenging her. But what makes Hinata Hikaru despair is that these people challenge her without any money. Little psycho. You still have the nerve to ask for money. Didn't you already accept my wallet on the day of the grade department test? Uchiha Shizu gritted his teeth. Really? But this leader doesn't remember. Hinata raised his head and looked at the sky. Ah, the clouds are so nice. Hateful. Hinata's actions successfully made Uchiha Shizu's anger explode. I'm going to Wivyuwa today. When Uchiha Shizuo said harsh words, a leaf suddenly floated down and blocked Uchiha Shizuo's mouth. Therefore, the voices behind Uchiha Shizu turned into whining. Pooh! Uchiha Shizu grabbed the leaves from his face and threw them to the ground viciously. Then she continued. You little psycho, just wait today, Wivyuwa. Another leaf fell on Uchiha Shizu's mouth. Poor Uchiha Shizu, it was the sage of 6 paths who didn't let her finish her sentence properly. Gaga, look, she is so funny. Hinata chuckled as she spoke. Laughing and pointing fingers at each other. This kind of behavior completely annoyed Uchiha Shizu. Go to hell. Uchiha Shizu shouted angrily and attacked suddenly. Ninja. However, he saw that Xiangguan quickly formed a seal. Hinata Xiao and Namikaze Minato froze at the same time. Is this a genjutsu that Michiko-sensei recently taught? After the class test, Hikaru Hinata found teacher Michiko. Teacher Michiko also willingly taught Hinata her genjutsu. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 87. Genjutsu, as a kind of spiritual attack, is one of the 3 necessary skills for ninjas, ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu. Illusion attacks the enemy's 5 senses, causing them to fall into hallucinations. Skillful illusion users can even manipulate the chakra flow in the enemy's brain nerves as they wish, which is a fighting method that requires extremely high IQ and combat literacy. Mental attack, high IQ, focus on this. In other words, learning illusion requires not only possessing the 6th attribute in addition to the 5 basic attributes, the yin attribute. It also requires high IQ. Only the yin attribute is not enough to learn illusion. IQ is also extremely important. This made Xiangxiao realize that Rixiang Hikari's IQ was actually very high. So, The conclusion that mental patients are just mentally ill and not necessarily stupid jumps right out of the water. Hinata Hikari, who was naturally not a fool, smiled strangely and completed the seal in an instant. The seal formation speed of ordinary ninjas is 2 to 5 seals per second. There are very few people whose hand speed can break through the sky. Hinata Hikari, who is proficient in soft fists and various physical techniques, is one of them. Hinata can do 6 seals per second. Therefore, almost in an instant, Hinata completed the seal. Ninjutsu Magic Narakumi no Jutsu. Buzz. Invisible chakra fluctuations span time and space in an instant, invading Uchiha Shizu's 5 senses. Uchiha Shizu's footsteps suddenly stagnated, and he stood there blankly. This is the first time Xiangxiao has seen illusion techniques. Therefore, he was full of curiosity about this method. With his sensory abilities fully activated, he could easily detect the changes in Uchiha Shizu's body. Her chakra is messed up. Quack, that's right. Hinata nodded. She doesn't have the ability to sense like Namikaze Minato. But Hikaru Hinata has Byakugan? With the Byakugan, it is equivalent to a humanoid self-propelled scanner. In Hinata's Byakugan vision, the chakra in Uchiha Shizuo's body changed from ordinary smooth flow to irregular turbulent flow. The chakra in her body formed whirlpools, like the sea surface in a storm. The magic Naraku no Jutsu is difficult to acquire, level D, Genin level. It works through vision and allows the opponent to see the things they fear most. With a smile on his face, Xiangguang explained for Xiangxiao. So, here comes the question, what is Shizu Uchiha's biggest fear? In fantasy, Uchiha stood quietly in front of a pond. Pond. Why a pond? Uchiha Shizu, who was affected by the illusion, was a little confused. Because of the effect of the illusion, her mind was in a state of chaos, just like the state when humans are dreaming. Suddenly, a beam of light came over. It is the sun. The sun reflects the pond translucently. At this time, 2 figures came from the left and right and came to the side of the pond. One of them is Sarutobi Ryo. He was dressed very handsome today, just like the long-legged Appa on the screen of Konoha Grand Theater. The other person is Hikaru Hinata. This little psychopath had a weird, nervous smile on his face that Uchiha Shizu hated, and he was walking towards this side. Soon, Sarutobi Ryo and Hinata Hikaru were less than half a meter apart. Sarutobi Ryo, who was slightly taller, lowered his head slightly and looked at the nervous Hinata. The corners of Sarutobi Ryo's mouth suddenly raised, revealing a thrillingly handsome smile. Hikari. Quack, what's the matter? The two asked and answered. I want to tell everyone that this fish pond is contracted by you. Sarutobi flicked his hand, and the fishing rod that came out of nowhere was thrown into the pond. No. My Konoha long-legged Appa. Uchiha Shizuo screamed, fell backwards, and could not get up again. Xiangxiao. Namikaze Minato. God, she's so stupid. Hinata shook her head with pity. This small disturbance only slightly affected the progress of the 3 of them. After Hinata Hikaru drew several little turtles on the face of the unconscious Uchiha Shizuku, the 3 of them set out on the road again. I believe that Uchiha Shizu will like the gift given to her. Byakugan and illusion are so perfect. Namikaze Minato praised. If people of the Hyuga clan learn genjutsu, they will have an advantage. You can immediately observe whether the other party is affected by your illusion. Whether the other party has released his illusion. The duration of the illusion's effect. These accurate data that normal people cannot obtain, the ninjas of the Hyuga clan can even be accurate to the second. So, wouldn't it be a waste of talent if you don't learn all kinds of ninjutsu, illusions, and physical skills? God, this leader is still smart. Hinata looked very proud. If possible, she would even like to learn medical ninjutsu. Byakugan, combined with medical ninjutsu, must be very powerful. but it is a pity that medical ninjutsu is the use of yang attribute. Whether Hinata Hikaru has yang attributes is another matter. Medical ninjutsu requires excellent theoretical knowledge. Every medical ninja is actually a top student. When looking at all kinds of tomes, Hinata's head is very big. Therefore, Hinata Hikari, who does not love theoretical study, has no hope of becoming a medical ninja. Listening to R.I. Xiangguang's words, R.I. Xiangxiao just remained silent. Hyuga Hikari showed him too many possibilities of the Hyuga clan. And from the past to the present, it has been proven every time that Hinata is right. The Hyuga clan only sticks to the practice of soft fist. Maybe, it's really too superficial. Speaking of which, where are we going? R.I. Xiangxiao changed the subject. Hinata Xiao didn't even know where she was going, so she followed Hinata Hikari out. It can be seen that the sunlight is biased towards a human level. Gaga, of course I'm going to ask for reward. Needless to say where to go. Of course, I would like to visit the third generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's house. Generally speaking, after becoming Hokage, you will automatically be given a big house. The entire Hokage building is the residence of Sarutobi Hiruzen. The Hokage building has several floors. It not only has office space, but also comes with free housing. It is said that the first Hokage Senju Hashirama and the second Hokage Senju Tobirama spent a long time in the Hokage building. R.I. Xiangxiao said that this is amazing because. But I heard that the first Hokage's wife, Uzumaki Mito-sama, is still alive today. Well, the problem is coming. Where is Mito Uzumaki now? Of course, it's at the gathering place of the Senju clan. Hinata Hikaru had a face full of promise, but he just opened his mouth. She frightened Hinata Xiao into a daze. Next to him, Minato Namikaze couldn't help but cough a few times. The same is true for the third generation old man. Even though he has a big public house, he actually has his own private residence in Dabiai. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 88. Today, this leader is going to the Daibutsu wilderness of the second generation Sarutobi Ryo's family. Why not go directly to the Hokage building? Hinata Xiao stopped and expressed confusion. It's very simple. Hinata Hikari smiled half-heartedly. Because this leader didn't eat this morning, maybe we can still get some food at Sarutobi's house. Okay, shameless enough. R.I. Xiangxiao nodded. Haha. Namikaze Minato watched the conversation between the two and couldn't help laughing or crying. About 10 minutes later, they followed the road and entered the gathering place of the Sarutobi clan. Compared to Uchiha, the place of residence here is much more normal. In addition to many Sarutobi clan members, there were other Konoha shinobi and passers-by coming and going. Facing the three Hikaru Hinata who arrived, everyone just cast a curious glance at them and stopped observing. Hinata walked straight forward, seemingly confident. This made Hinata Xiao a little confused. Have you been to Sarutobi Ryo's house? On the day of the class test, the conversation between Hinata Hikaru and Sarutobi Ryo made people speculate that the two might have known each other for a long time. No. Hinata turned his head and said no. Well, maybe we knew each other in a previous life. Then why do you look so confident and know where to go? R.I. Xiangxiao was a little confused. Gaga, it's very simple. As long as you find the largest Obesuno, it must be Sarutobi Ryo's home. Hinata Hikari looked at Hinata Xiao with caring eyes. This is Chikuakuo's experience crushing. Hinata Hikari is very knowledgeable. Sure enough, after a short turn, I found the largest house. Hinata Hikari walked towards the residential building without thinking. This building has a large courtyard in front. Rock eries, flowing water, plants. Very artistic. It is not difficult to see from the way Hiruzen Sarutobi practiced calligraphy and painting when he had nothing to do at work. It is not difficult to see that Hiruzen Sarutobi is a person full of pursuit of life. Oh, This is the home of the second generation of the biggest beep in the village. It is much more powerful than the Hyuga clan. Hinata was amazed as he looked around the yard. She walked in without even knocking. Now pinch here, now touch there. Perfect sunlight enters the grand view garden. Today is Sunday, so Sarutobi Ryo definitely doesn't go to school either. After walking around the rockery, Hinata and the others saw Sarutobi Ryo sitting in the pavilion, writing calligraphy and painting. Sarutobi Ryo writes in a very fascinating way, even to the point of selflessness. With their common hobbies and looks, it is certain that they are not the Laowang next door, they must be biological children. SHH. Suddenly, Hinata put her white and slender fingers up to her lips, making a silent gesture. Then, with a smirk on her face, she walked towards Sarutobi Ryo like a dog. Arriving behind Sarutobi Ryo, Hinata stuck out her little head and looked at the white paper. It turns out that Sarutobi Ryo was not writing calligraphy and painting, but practicing the sealing technique. In the ninja world, there are many types of sealing techniques. Some sealing techniques can be used directly by forming seals, while some require special conditions. The sealing technique practiced by Sarutobi Ryo is a method of using a scroll as a medium, like the E-level substitute technique, where the spell is prepared and carved in advance and taken out directly when needed. Some sealing techniques require advanced preparation and are extremely complex. Therefore, you need to be single-minded and focused, without being disturbed by outsiders at all. Hyuga Hikaru always adheres to the principle of the main purpose of this religion is to be kind to others. So. Whoa! Hinata shouted sharply at him. Suddenly, Sarutobi Ryo shuddered and his whole body suddenly jumped up. Not only was it scrapped after a long day of hard work, it also made people jump with fear. Then, Hinata's gloating laughter came from the courtyard. Sarutobi Ryo looked sad and angry. He covered his little sweetheart with one hand. There is a pen in one hand. It wasn't until this moment that he realized how unwise it was to offend Hinata Hikari. Look, these guys are here to take revenge. Of course, more importantly. All the results I worked hard for all morning were ruined. Sarutobi Ryo was depressed and his eyes were dull. As the son of the Hokage, he had a heavy burden on his shoulders. While the little friends like Hinata were causing trouble everywhere, he still had to practice various ninja skills at home. Isn't it just a fire sealing seal? Let me draw one for you. Hinata put her little hands behind her back and curled her lips, looking very disdainful. You actually know about the fire seal? Sarutobi Ryo opened his eyes wide, looking incredulous. This was the first time he showed a shocked expression in front of his peers. Sealing fire seal, B-level ninjutsu. This sealing style inherits the consistently high difficulty characteristics of sealing techniques. Draw a large number of complicated spells in advance, and then practice making seals to seal the flames. If the spell fails, the sealing form of the scroll may be destroyed. The performer would have to start all over again. It can be said that it is a very time-consuming and energy-consuming ninjutsu, but it is specially designed to defeat Uchiha. Inventor, naturally. The second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama, a sealing technique developed specifically for the Uchiha clan, sealing fire seal, B-level, Jonin level. Rice Yangguang raised his head to open the sky and read out a string of words like a stick. Hey, hey, hey. Hinata Hikaru, let's not talk nonsense. Sarutobi Ryo quickly stopped Hinata. What does specifically target the Uchiha clan mean? You want to apologize to the villagers by saying this casually. Even so, Sarutobi Ryo couldn't help being shocked. Actually, I've been wondering about Hikaru Hinata for a long time. Who taught you your fire escape, water escape, and all these? Of course. Quack, why don't you ask the magical conch? Hinata Guangtian had a cute little face, as if the leader of the church just didn't want to tell you. Next to him, Namikaze Minato's handsome face showed an incomprehensible smile. Who is the magical conch? Sarutobi Ryo looked confused. Quack, the magical conch is the magical conch. That Sarutobi Ryo-san, isn't Biwako-sama at home? Namikaze Minato rescued Hinata Hikari in time. This is the power of the magical Namikaze conch. Lake Biwa, whose full name is Sarutobi Lake, is the wife of the third-generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen and the mother of Sarutobi Ryo. Mom, she has been busy recently. Sarutobi Ryo replied. When Biwako was young, he was an important member of Umbu. Now, although he has withdrawn from Umbu, he still has a very close connection with Umbu. For example, Lake Bipa even accepted a commoner girl as a disciple. Namikaze Minato remembered to call him Snake-chi. Shi-ci is only 7 years old and has not yet entered school. The fact that she was favored by Lake Biwa is enough to prove her extraordinary talent. Snake-ci, the female Umbu who was killed by Uchiha Obito in the Nine Tails Rebellion in the original work and delivered Kushina's baby. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 89. As the situation in the ninja world becomes unstable, Biwako, who originally quit the Umbu, will inevitably pick up the past affairs and assist Sarutobi Hiruzen. Then it makes sense that she's not here. Is there anything wrong with you coming here, Hikari? Sarutobi Ryo put the scroll away and put it aside. Obviously, before Hinata left, Sarutobi Ryo did not intend to continue his work. Quack, nothing's wrong. Although Hinata Hikaru had a smile on his face, Sarutobi Ryo always felt that nothing good would happen. The girl in front of her had won the first place in the class exam a few days ago. Not only is his appearance outstanding, his talent is also amazing. Of course, Sarutobi Ryo is not an Uchiha, and he would not do anything to envy Hinata Hikari's talents. Sarutobi Ryo, are some of your classmates looking for you? Said that CAO will arrive. Sarutobi Biwako came around from the Rockery Road, followed by a pretty black-haired girl with pigtails. There is no doubt that that is Biwahu's disciple, Snake-ci. Hinata looked at Lake Biwa curiously. Even in her previous life, Hinata had never seen Lake Biwa a few times. It's not an exaggeration to say it's strange. Sarutobi Lake Biwa is majestic, but also full of kindness. This kind of temperament. Should it be called Muitiangzia? Oh, she is indeed Mrs. Hokage. Hinata Hikaru was not familiar with Sarutobi Biwako, but Sarutobi Biwako was familiar with her. Sarutobi Biwako recognized Hinata Hikaru at the first sight. 2 years ago, when Hinata was sent to a mental hospital, Sarutobi Biwako treated Hinata. Unexpectedly, in the blink of an eye, this child would become a prominent figure in the younger generation. Sarutobi Biwako was not a ninja who specialized in fighting. Her specialty is medical ninjutsu. Tsunade's achievements today were more or less influenced by Sarutobi Lake Biwa. Similarly, the reason why Jokaiji was accepted as a disciple by Sarutobi Biwako was because of his talent in medical ninjutsu. Sarutobi Biwako was very pleased to see that his son had a companion. On weekdays, because of Sarutobi Ryo's identity and talent, few people play with him. It is not wrong to say that I spent my entire childhood alone. Master Lake Biwa. Namikaze Minato greeted Sarutobi Lake Biwa. Hinata Xiao also gave a slight greeting. Ah. Lake Biwa nodded. I won't disturb you anymore. My disciple Shi-ci and I still have things to do. The younger Shi-ci smiled at the three of them and followed Biwahu away. However, as soon as Biwako took a step forward, the voice behind her stopped her. Gaga, this leader is not here to play with him. The one who opened the mouth was naturally Hinata. Sarutobi Biwako turned around and looked at Hinata Hikari. If you want to learn the Shuriken Shadow Clone technique from Hiruzen, you can go to the Hokage building. Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. Sarutobi Ryo exclaimed. What the hell? Is there anything else he doesn't know? Reward for first place in the department test. Sarutobi Biwako turned his head and looked at his son. Of course, this kid fought for it himself. Sarutobi Biwako's tone was full of appreciation. Sarutobi Biwako had heard from her husband about Hinata Hikari's incident in the ninja school. This strange girl's fate has been full of twists and turns, but fortunately, she is now moving in a good direction. But the Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu is an A-level ninjutsu, Hikari Hinata. Sarutobi Ryo responded hesitantly. At this point, R.I. Xiangxiao was suddenly startled. Hinata Hikaru's ability to do things still exceeded his expectations. He had never heard of anyone being able to trick someone into using an A-level ninjutsu. But this impossible thing actually happened. He is so thick-skinned as never before. But Hinata Hikaru is too thick-skinned. Thanks to Hokage-sama for being so magnanimous, Hinata Xiao muttered. Sarutobi Ryo, how many times have I told you not to judge people by their appearance, and don't believe rumors easily? Sarutobi Biwako suddenly changed his tone and criticized his stupid son extremely harshly. Hyuga Hikaru awakened the blood inheritance limit that has never appeared in the Hyuga clan, and the murderous intention fluctuated. This alone is enough to illustrate her talent. No matter how special the blood inheritance limit is, it cannot escape the 7 chakra attributes. Different attribute combinations will lead to different blood inheritance limits. But even Hiruzen Sarutobi, who is known as the Professor, cannot achieve this ability. This is an ability that completely transcends effort and is only about talent. It seems that the teaching you have received is not enough. Have you completed the homework assigned to you this morning? Looking at Sarutobi Biwako, who suddenly changed into a domineering one. Her stern aura deeply shocked all the naughty children present. This is MRS Hokage. Quack, Sarutobi Ryo's numbness looks so majestic. Ha ha ha. Hinata Hikaru, Hinata Xiao, and Namikaze Minato looked at Sarutobi Ryo, who lowered his head and was criticized, with different thoughts in their hearts. The homework was ruined by Hikari Hinata. Sarutobi Ryo said slowly, while carefully looking at his mother's expression. Ruined. Sarutobi Biwako frowned. She took the scroll from Ryo Sarutobi's hand and unfolded it. Sure enough, the entire fire sealing seal was only missing the last stroke. It was this stroke, the final crooked stroke, that destroyed the entire sealing style. Quack, it's rude to come back without reciprocating. He used to wear small shoes for my leader, this leader is retaliating. Puff. Snake Ci behind Lake Biwa almost burst out. Even though retaliation is said to be so fair and just, who is this person? Shi Ci, who has not yet entered school and is only 7 years old, looks at Hinata Hikaru curiously. Seeing this existence that was completely different from ordinary girls, her curiosity aroused. Hinata Hikaru's words made Sarutobi Biwako laugh a little. The formerly tense and scary face also regained its kindness. Oh? What did Sarutobi Ryo do wrong? My child, please tell me and I will punish him severely. Speaking of the last few words, Sarutobi Biwako emphasized his tone. Sarutobi Ryo trembled. Now it's good, Hinata Hikaru can catch the opportunity to make a snitch. Sarutobi Ryo swore that he would never dare to offend Hinata Hikari again. After Hinata Hikaru's embellished description, Sarutobi Biwako nodded frequently. After that, it ended with Ryo Sarutobi sweating profusely. Okay, Sarutobi Ryo, I haven't learned the good qualities, but I have learned a lot from the bad ones. I will punish you by copying the clan rules 1000 times. Sarutobi Ryo was stunned, and then his face turned ashen. He really couldn't believe it. I was actually completely rectified by Hinata Hikaru. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 90. Sarutobi Ryo never thought that he, a normal person, would be punished by a mentally ill girl. The feeling of doubting life arises spontaneously. Sarutobi Ryo couldn't help but think about this world. What's going on? Gaga, the punishment is too severe, Hinata Guang suddenly said. Oh. Not only Sarutobi Biwako, but also Sarutobi Ryo turned his head and looked at Hinata Hikaru in disbelief. The punishment is too severe. Well, the Hokage has a lot of things to do every day. Let Sarutobi Ryo do the work of contributing the shuriken technique of the shadow clone. This way, it will be considered as making up for it. Hinata Hikari said matter-of-factly. Okay, that's fine too. Sarutobi Biwako smiled and nodded. Although this kid is a little weird, he has a good heart. Then let's do it, Sarutobi Ryo. Mother. I'm going to teach you the Hinata Hikaru Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. You must teach it well and don't be lazy. Yes. Finally, Sarutobi Biwako glanced at Hinata Hikaru, nodded, and turned around to leave. You actually plead for him, I Xiangxiao couldn't believe it. Ugh. Hinata sighed. Who makes this leader have a kind heart and always remember to be kind to others? Hikaru Hinata Sarutobi Ryo looked at her, the corner of his mouth twitching. You are indeed as shameless as the rumors say. Quack. Hinata Hikaru smiled nonchalantly, looking at Sarutobi Ryo's expression of eating shit. Liangze, please contribute your ninjutsu to this leader quickly. Liangze Ri Xiangxiao was a little confused by this new title. Zai is called Ziopanaiyu, or a nickname for a man who is younger than yourself, Hinata Hikaru explained seriously. That's it, Hinata Xiao nodded, thinking a little. Poor him, he was led astray again. Namikaze Minato laughed dryly and made no comment. What Hinata Hikaru said, you have to know which ones are important points and which ones are ridicule, you can ignore them. For others, this is a difficult thing to do. Okay, come with me to the backyard. Sarutobi Ryo shook his head, and although he was very reluctant, he still accepted the task. Along the way, they passed through the corridor. Liangze, you are just an ordinary person, and you are still pretending to be Konoha's long-legged appa in school. On the way, Hinata Hikaru teased Sarutobi Ryo. Do you understand character design and character design? Sarutobi Ryo turned around and said. My father is the Hokage. Do you know that I am under great pressure from the Hokage? Because his father was the Hokage, Sarutobi Ryo had to put on a well-created appearance in front of outsiders to fit his reputation as a genius. But in fact, he, Sarutobi Ryo, doesn't want to become a great dancer. Wait until we reach the backyard entrance. Sarutobi Ryo stopped and was about to chase people away. He only agreed to teach Hinata the art of light, shuriken, and shadow clones, but he did not agree to teach it to Namikaze Minato and Hinata Xiao. Rixiangxiao's emotional intelligence was clearly on the line and she stopped immediately. I'll go look elsewhere. After saying that, he turned around and walked to the side. I'll go take a look too. Namikaze Minato's emotional intelligence is even online. He didn't embarrass Sarutobi. In the ninja world, the teaching of ninjutsu or secret techniques is extremely taboo. Didn't you see, in the original book, there are only a few people in Konoha who can make balls. It is human nature to have good things in your pocket. Professors have good intentions, but it is their duty not to teach. However, Hinata Hikari's next words made the three of them tremble. Gaga, after I master it soon, I will teach you this ninjutsu. Ah, Hikari-san, I suddenly remembered that the gas at home has not been turned off. Namikaze Minato scratched his head and ran away. Apparently, pretending not to hear. Master, is looking at me with blank eyes from a kilometer away. This means it's time for me to go back. Rice Yang Xiao told lies with his eyes closed. With one jump, he climbed over the wall and disappeared from the courtyard of Sarutobi Ryo's house. Sunlight. Haha, Hinata Hikaru, this ninjutsu is not something you can just learn if you want to. It is copyrighted. As a Konoha person, you should abide by the rules. And you have to know that even the elder brother Jiraiya has not learned this trick. Sarutobi Ryo seemed to have finally found a chance, but he was still dishonest. Hinata Hikaru turned his back to Sarutobi Ryo, looking at the place where Namikaze Minato and Hinata Xiao disappeared, and murmured. As long as this leader sells this ninjutsu to the two of them through legal commercial means, there will be no problem. Ryo Sarutobi. After that, the two of them entered the backyard and stood still. Sarutobi Ryo began to teach Hinata Hikari how to practice the Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. From seals to the principles of magic. The inventor of this technique was Sarutobi Ryo's old father, the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Inspired by the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama's B-level ninjutsu, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. The B-level Shadow Clone technique is to create a physical clone of oneself. The A-level Shuriken Shadow Clone technique is to divide a physical shuriken into several, or even dozens of pieces. Compared to transfiguring oneself, it is very difficult to divide and proliferate using shurikens as casting targets. Therefore, even though the Shuriken Shadow Clone technique's lethality may be at the bottom of A levels, it may not even be as good as some B levels. But the learning difficulty is extremely high. Finally, it was positioned as an A-level ninjutsu. Quack, that means you exert 10 points of force, but you can only receive 5 points of effect. It's useless. It's useless. Hinata shook her little head and criticized this technique. Hey Hinata Hikari, why don't you get the advantage and act like a good boy? Sarutobi Ryo was unhappy. Dare to say that his old father, not even Hinata Hikaru. Okay, this leader has really convinced you, a petty person like you, that I won't even let you tell the truth. Ryo Sarutobi. Sarutobi finally understood that Hinata was torturing him in all kinds of roundabout ways. Okay, let me demonstrate it first. I saw Sarutobi Ryo taking out a shuriken from his ninja bag and holding it in his hand. The next moment, the shuriken flew through the air and aimed at a wooden stake used for training. Ninjutsu Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. Sarutobi Ryo formed a seal with his hands, extremely fast. As the technique was completed, the shuriken underwent strange changes. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. In an instant, 8 shurikens flew towards the wooden pile. The sound of successive hits sounded, and all 8 shurikens hit. How about it? Sarutobi Ryo's pride was beyond words. At 8 years old, he can master A-level ninjutsu. There is no doubt that he is a genius. As far as Sarutobi Ryo knew, his old father's disciple, Orochimaru, also mastered this ninjutsu at a similar age. Among the 3 disciples, only Orochimaru learned the Shuriken Shadow Clone technique. And Orochimaru is known as a genius. Mobile Station. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 91. Not so much. Hinata Hikaru shook his little head repeatedly, indicating that it was just so-so. Okay, then you give it a try. Sarutobi smiled half-heartedly, as if he was waiting to see Hinata's joke. Just try it. Hinata walked forward and looked at the target. Then, take a stance. Then, a shuriken was thrown from his arms. Huh. Rice Yangguang formed the seal quickly and in a formal manner. After the light-speed seal was completed, Hinata took out his hands from his arms and threw out a lot of shurikens. Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. The pile of shurikens flew less than 2 meters before losing their strength and crashing into the ground. Ryo Sarutobi. A cold wind blew through. This is not a Shuriken Shadow Clone technique at all, It is a technique of throwing all the shurikens outward, Ryo Sarutobi complained loudly. Gaga, it turns out you also know this technique. I am teasing you. Hinata touched the back of his head, with a very honest expression on his face. Do you think you are brother Jiraiya? Sarutobi's cheek muscles twitched a few times. Jiraiya is also a disciple of Hiruzen Sarutobi, and Ryo Sarutobi is the son of Hiruzen Sarutobi. In theory, Jiraiya and Sarutobi Ryo are the same generation. Sarutobi Ryo, stop talking nonsense, I'm going to start practicing properly. Hinata emphasized very seriously, and then began to practice the seals. It's obviously you first. Sarutobi Ryo was speechless. He had never seen such a shameless person. Throw the shuriken and form a seal. Hinata kept repeating this process. She practiced very seriously, so seriously that Sarutobi Ryo couldn't help but nod. Then, Sarutobi Ryo walked aside and occasionally corrected him. By noon, Hinata Hikari successfully used the shuriken shadow clone technique. Although the amount divided is pitifully small. Shadow clone technique. Sunlight seal. An identical clone appeared here. By the way, he also practiced the art of shadow clone. It's amazing if you can draw inferences from one instance. Sarutobi Ryo looked at Hinata Hikaru with a dull expression. Hyuga Hikaru's speed in learning the shuriken shadow clone technique was not very fast. It took a whole morning. However, being able to practice the A-level shuriken shadow clone technique and reverse the B-level shadow clone technique at the same time is a big problem. Unprecedented. Anyway, Sarutobi Ryo had never heard of such a thing. The A-level shuriken shadow clone jutsu was originally a blend of the essentials of the B-level shadow clone jutsu, and then was magically modified. What's more, the B-level shadow clone technique only has one seal. The Hyuga Light Energy Society also makes sense. The shadow clone technique isn't that good either. Hinata pinched the shadow clone's little face. It's far worse than my leader's crimson clone. With a sound, the shadow clone technique was released. And this scene was also discovered by Sarutobi Biwako, who happened to arrive. This kid is really a genius. Sarutobi Biwako nodded with a smile on his face. After that, step forward. It's noon. It's time to eat. Hinata, let's stay and eat together. After being reminded by Sarutobi Lake Biwa, Hinata discovered that the sun had already risen to the middle of the sky. According to Sarutobi Ryo's idea, normal people would politely refuse at this time. There are many aspects to consider when staying at someone else's house to eat. Hinata Hikaru is not familiar with him, so how can she have the nerve to stay at his house for dinner? However, Sarutobi Ryo's thinking was too normal after all. Quack, okay. Hinata nodded vigorously and agreed. Ryo Sarutobi. Hikaru Hinata, you should have found a reason to leave just now. On the way from the backyard to the corridor, Sarutobi Ryo whispered. Well, why does this leader want to leave? Hinata looked confused. Because you have to go home to eat, Sarutobi Ryo explained. But Hinata Guangtian calmed her little face and blinked her exquisite and clear eyes. Didn't you, Mom, invite this leader to have dinner at your home? Hinata Hikaru said it confidently, as if he should eat at your house. That's polite. Do you understand that this is the basic grammar of dealing with others? Sarutobi Ryo was a little crazy. Oh. Hinata Guang spoke in a long voice, with an expression on his face that the leader understood. Sarutobi Ryo, you are saying that you are very hypocritical. You think one thing on the surface but another behind the scenes. I didn't say that, Hinata Hikaru, please don't talk nonsense. Sarutobi Ryo glared ahead and observed Sarutobi Lake Biwa, hoping not to let her hear. That's it? Hinata Hikaru smiled. She said that today the leader of the church wants to eat from your family. You are shameless. Sarutobi Ryo's cheeks twitched, and his eyes glared at Hinata Hikari. Quack, it smells so good. Hinata turned away his eyes and sniffed, looking pleased with himself. Sarutobi Ryo didn't know, but what was even more shameless was yet to come. After arriving in the living room, the food was already served. 4 people, dishes. In fact, it was quite filling. Hinata Hikaru blinked, indicating that he did not see the Sandame Hokage. Haha, you guys eat first, I'll deliver the food. As he spoke, Sarutobi Biwako shook the extra lunch box in his hand, and then walked out. Watching Sarutobi Biwako's back disappear behind the door, Hinata Hikaru unceremoniously found a seat and sat down. She sat in the middle. Sarutobi Ryo was opposite him, with Snake G by his side. The position occupied by Hinata is just right so that you can easily eat all the dishes with just one stretch of your hand. This leader has started. Before Sarutobi Ryo and Snake Ci could make a move, Hinata Hikari picked up the chopsticks and started picking up the food. While picking up vegetables, he picked up the rice in his bowl. Quack, it smells so good. Sarutobi Ryo and Snake Ci were speechless. The two looked at each other. Sarutobi Ryo saw Snake Ci sneer. Snake Ci saw Sarutobi Ryo going crazy. Why don't you eat it? Hinata Hikaru looked at the two of them with a puzzled expression and blinked. I'm full after seeing you, Sarutobi Ryo said angrily. Gaga, since you are full, I, the leader, will eat more. Hinata tugged at it a few times. Sure enough, Sarutobi Ryo still didn't move his chopsticks. Come on, Snake Ci, eat more. Not only did Hinata Hikaru eat it himself, he also picked up a spoon and added some rice to Snake Ci. Gaga, don't be polite, just treat this place as your home. Puff. Sarutobi Ryo finally couldn't bear it anymore. Whoa! He let out a sad cry, turned around and ran outside. Hikaru Hinata, you are so shameless. Mobile Station.